Good morning, Westmore Middle School, and good morning, World Language. Middle School, welcome, welcome, welcome to Think CC Thursdays. We are going to get started here around 9:05. So thank you so much. Take our bio breaks if what we need to, but thank you again so much for coming to Think CC Thursdays. Welcome Indianola, welcome Mifflin Middle School. We're going to have some elevator music in while we're here. If panelists, would you be able to just one? Ooh. Can you hear the music okay if you give me a thumbs up? Welcome, welcome, welcome to all of our middle schools that are here. We're going to get started in about 3 minutes, so thank you. I'm going to get some things moving here in just one moment. Good morning. Good. How are you? Alrighty, I'm going to do some introductions as I see a couple different middle schools who are joining in and on. I think that there's some of you who are joining individually and there are some of you who are joining as a class. So we welcome you to our Think CC Thursdays. And so I'm going to share my screen real quick just to give you a little, we are Columbus City Schools, to those of you who are joining us not from Columbus City Schools, and we are here with all of our wonderful middle schools. Think CC Thursdays, people are like, what the heck does that even mean? When we think CC, we think college and career, we think career pathways, we think all of the wonderful things. And we also think Columbus City when we think CC. So we have partnered here with ESC of Central Ohio to bring this to you. So we are having this set up in 3 different parts. So today, on November 4th, we are hearing from the college. So College Career and Service Month. So this month we are hearing about from college. We'll have representatives from Columbus State, Ohio State, and Franklin University. Next week, if you were able to join us, we're focusing on careers, and we'll have Builders Exchange, Eastland, Fairfield, Adult Ed, and possibly Avita. And then on November 18th, we're going to focus on our military services. So we are extremely excited to be able to share this with you. And I'm going to stop sharing that piece. We are so, again, excited. Today joining us, we have Miss Andy Jones Hamilton from Columbus State Community College. We have Maureen and Ardell from Franklin University. We have Mr. Thomas Giles from The Ohio State University. So we're going to hear a little bit from them. You're going to hear about 10 to 12 minutes from them. And then from there, then we will save questions at the end. So if you're like, oh, I have a question, write it down or kind of try to keep it in there so that you can ask at the end. Around 9:40, we will get to have this Q&A questions. So please get excited. I'm going to turn it over and I am going to introduce the wonderful Miss Andy Jones Hamilton.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone is having a good day. So my name is Andy, and I will try my best not to bore you to death, but I'm going to talk to you about college, my personal experience in college, and what you can look forward to if you're considering going to college. So briefly, I'm a student at Columbus State Community College. It's a 2-year college, really big school, really beautiful school here in Columbus. And right now I'm sitting in our culinary building, which is brand new and really awesome. It's absolutely beautiful. And I graduated from Columbus State about 1.5 years ago. And a really cool story, we have something called a direct pathway program. You can, if you graduate from Columbus State, you can automatically be accepted into any state school of your choice. So I'm not going to talk about OSU, but also you should know I'm a student at OSU. When I was a kid, no one ever told me that I could go to college. Like it just like really never came up. No one around me went to college. You know, the biggest goal at the time, I'm kind of old by the way, but the biggest goal at the time was like to get a job, like maybe working at the post office or, you know, something like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But no one ever told me that I could go to college. It wasn't until much later on in my life, I was an adult, that I realized, wow, this is something that I always wanted to do. And I am one of those people that can go to college. That's anybody, any of us is one of those people who can go to college. So I'm going to share with you, I didn't make a video or anything like that, but I just have a few photos that I would like to share with you about Columbus State, and just let you see the variety of the programs that we have here. Start thinking to yourselves, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? What is important to you? That sort of a thing. I'm going to ask, can you guys see my screen?
Not yet.
Oh, sorry. Not yet. Technology. Yay.
We can see it now.
Okay. All right. So, welcome to Columbus State Community College. We have a lot of programs. Have you ever considered being a mechanic, working on cars? Do you love cars? Have you ever considered going into IT? Do you like computers? Is that your thing? Do you like playing video games? Do you like building computers? Anything related to computers? Do you like to cook? Like I said, we have an amazing culinary school. Is children something that you're interested in? We have a program, you can become a social worker. You could become a child psychiatrist. You could become a teacher. Are you interested in science? Do you love biology and chemistry? Do you like blowing up things and setting fires and creating stuff? That's, you know, science too. We have an environmental science program. The girls on the left, the young ladies on the left, they're taking soil samples. They all want to be geologists when they grow up. I think that's so cool. And the people on the right, well, not my thing, but if you want to deal with hazardous materials, we even have a program for that. Have you ever thought of being a firefighter or an emergency service person, like a paramedic or a nurse? We have an amazing, very, very large nursing program, dental programs, things like that. We have a fire department program, and it's really cool. We have actual ambulances that we train people on, things like that. So aside from all the programs that we have, that's me on the screen, we do a lot of things for our community and for our students. We have a food bank here at the college, and it's free. We give away free food to any student who wants it or needs it. And we also give it away to the community, bread, milk, stuff like that. And I mention this because when you guys get to high school, you're gonna have to do some service work. So I'm plugging you right now. It'd be a great idea. You can come down and volunteer in our food bank. When considering college, I wanted to talk to you guys about obstacles. The obstacles to go into college. We here at Columbus State try to, and now I want to change my screen back, try to reduce the obstacles that students might experience as much as possible. So some people say, you know, how do you pay for college? I can't afford college, you know? There are many different ways. I would encourage you all to think more about your goals than any obstacles that you might face. We have hundreds of scholarships here at the college, and it's a great, wonderful system. You apply one time, you put your name into the computer system for a scholarship, and it will check hundreds and hundreds of scholarships. You only have to put your name in once, and it will find if there's anything available out there for you. Also, too, a lot of us at Columbus State borrow money from the government. It's, you know, it's a wonderful way to pay for school and not worry about it while you're in school, and then you pay the money back later. We have grants and different things, lots of ways for people to potentially pay for school. So don't let that be an obstacle for you. Don't even consider it. In addition to that, I would like to let you guys know that we have not only college degrees here, but we also have certificates. So maybe you don't necessarily need to go to 4 years of college. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, for whatever degree or program you want. But a lot of our programs are a year long, year and a half long, and they will get you prepared for doing something specific that you really want to do. Like, let's say you always wanted to drive an 18-wheeler truck. You can get a license for that. You can take courses and you can become certified to do that. So I challenge you all and encourage you to think big and then think bigger and think about what your goals are more than anything, and consider all of your options and all of your possibilities. Columbus State is a small school. It's very homey, actually. Like, if I were to get on the elevator with the president of our college, I would know him and he would say hi and call me by my name. It's very comfortable here. It's very beautiful here on our campus. And people who come to Columbus State tend to not want to leave. We tend to get jobs here. We tend to build relationships and have friendships that last us for a lifetime. In fact, half the people that are my good friends, I met through Columbus State Community College. And in addition to all of those things, I would say Columbus State, you know, we're a regional school, so we have about 30,000 students, but not all in one place. So we have like 4 different campuses all over the general area. So if you don't live close to downtown, it's really okay. And another thing that I wanted to talk to you that was on my agenda is there is a program that we have called College Credit Plus. I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but especially if you're in the 8th grade, it's something you might want to start thinking about. You can go to college while you're still in high school. The program starts your freshman year of high school. I have been sitting in class here with 14-year-olds. It's kind of jarring, actually. It's the weirdest kind of a feeling. 14, 15, 16-year-olds. I know a young lady, in fact, I know quite a few that have graduated from college before they graduated from high school. Sounds kind of strange, but it happens around here all the time. And the College Credit Plus program is something that does not cost your parents any money. You can get college credit while you're attending high school. You can earn a degree even while you're attending high school. And Columbus State is not the only school that honors that. It's a really great program. So don't just think about 4, 5, 6 years from now. Start thinking about your future and your educational career now. Talk to your parents about it. You know, there's a program at Columbus State Community College where I could start going to college and taking classes my freshman year of high school, and it won't cost you any money, mom, dad, hint, hint. So think about all of the different programs and the options. I keep saying options, options, options. You have lots of options available to you, and be open-minded and ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask your school counselors, ask your teachers, ask people like the people who organize programs like this. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You're not too young to be thinking about college. Now is actually the time for you to be thinking about those things. And so your future is bright, and look towards it. So I've talked about obstacles that may arise. And we have lots of programs to help our students, especially it's been COVID. So we had to do online school just like you guys. It was rather boring. You want to fall asleep. You don't want to get out of bed. You still have to do your homework, but we did it and we persevered. Just like you guys have all had to make changes and adjust during the shutdown and things like that. So have college students. We had to do that as well. But things are returning to normal. And hopefully by the time you guys get to Columbus State, everything will be totally normal. But we've adjusted quite fine. And we do have online classes. We do have face-to-face classes. You can mix it up. We have incentives and initiatives to help students get here. So like, let's say you're like, how do I get to college? Don't worry about that. We can help with transportation. We can help with lots of different things. So like I said, be open-minded and think about the questions that you want to ask. I will say that the happiest day of my life, the second happiest day of my life was the day that I graduated from Columbus State. And I will tell you, the only thing that even comes close was my wedding day. I mean, I have to be sure of my husband. It was the best day of my life. I just couldn't believe that I had made it. And it was so wonderful to actually be wearing a cap and a gown. Sometimes I just put it on and look in the mirror just for the fun of it. But it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. It took some time and it took me being committed and dedicated, and it was worth it. I got there, I didn't give up. And like I said, there were some 17-year-olds at my graduation who were graduating from high school the following week. Blows my mind. And it's something I'm very, very proud of, and it's gonna last me the rest of my life. Because I did all those things, guys, I'll tell you, and it's not really relevant so much to 8th graders, but because I've accomplished those things, I now work at Columbus State. That's what I meant about people never leaving. So I've graduated. Now I have a job here, and hopefully I'll work here for the next 30 years. So thank you very much for giving me all of this time. Thank you for your patience. I'm still having technical difficulties. I'm going to have to shrink my screen here. But I think my time is about up. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you so much, Miss Andy Jones Hamilton. We appreciate you so much for sharing from Columbus State. If you have questions, I wanted to do some housekeeping here. If you do have any questions that you'd like asked or you're afraid that you'll forget, down at the bottom left part of your screen, there is a little bubble that should say Q&A, and you could propose questions that you would like to have answered. So we may not answer them right now, but we will answer them at the end of this session. So thank you. So now we are going to transfer over to Franklin University. Sorry, I had to say it. It stuck in my head. We're going to go over to Maureen and Ardell. You guys have great advertisement because that song stuck in my head. So I'm going to turn it on over. Thank you so much, everyone. Give them a warm welcome.
Hi, everyone. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and try and share my screen. All right. All right, can everyone see my screen right now? All right, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome. We are so excited to be here as you're starting to explore your future, if it includes college. It's never really too soon to start exploring. My name is Maureen Cooper, and I am the College Credit Plus Manager at Franklin. And with me, we have Ardell Trotter. He is a graduate admissions advisor, and he is actually also a Columbus City School graduate. And we are so excited. In a few minutes, he'll kind of be sharing his story. But I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of information just kind of about Franklin, and hopefully your takeaway from all of this is there are multiple paths to earning a degree. It's not a one size fits all. There's all different ways that students can go about earning their degree. With Franklin, we are primarily an online university. Over 90% of our students are taking courses exclusively online. But we do actually have a physical campus downtown in Columbus. So students are, interested in their local and they want to get face-to-face support. We do have that as well. But I just kind of want to share a couple quick facts about Franklin and being an online student, and then I'll turn it over to Ardell so he can kind of share his journey. Kind of doing a little take on how it started, how it's going. Franklin actually was established in 1902. It was part of a YMCA, and it was primarily a night school for working adults. How it's going now is Franklin is actually a pioneer in online learning, and it launched its first online course in the 1990s. And students now, they range in age from, we have the College Credit Plus students, which are like, our high school students, and those are the students I work with, all the way up to students who are over age 65. So kind of a wide range of students. Another how it started, how it's going for the academic divisions. When it initially started up, we had automotive, machine shop, welding, and law. And now we actually have 3 colleges and 2 schools with majors in business, healthcare, technology, nursing, and education. And then another how it started, how it's going is it started out with just 150 students, and those students were just located locally right downtown, near the Columbus area. And how it's going is we now have over 6,000 students, and those students are worldwide. We have students taking Franklin courses, all over the globe. And we now have 50,000 alumni, and 20,000 of those alumni are actually, stayed put and are still in the central Ohio area. And then kind of just a little bit about what does it look like to earn your degree online? Well, you're not alone. You are well supported. Students typically meet with their instructors and their classmates once a week, but the rest of the time is what we call asynchronous, and that the students are able to work on their courses when it fits in their schedule. We offer free tutoring, workshops. All of our services are conveniently offered online, and because Franklin primarily online, they're really set up to have most of our students be able to access everything online. They can access the library, tutoring, or help desk service. And as you're considering college, online might be a good fit for you if you need to work full time while you're in college. In fact, most of our students do that. Also, if you have family obligations, a lot of our students are, caretaking in some capacity with their families, and online, makes it possible to continue to earn the degree while still, maintaining family and work life. And now I'm going to introduce Mr. Ardell Trotter. Here is his 9th grade picture. So hopefully you can kind of see yourself from back there. And then how it's going since then. He is a Mifflin High School graduate of 2002. He actually got his associate's degree at Columbus State, went on to Franklin to earn bachelor's degree, MBA, and he's currently in his doctoral program. So Ardell, I'm going to turn it over to you to kind of share your journey with the students.
Hey, thank you, Maureen, and good morning to you all. Again, I am Ardell Trotter, and like many of you all, I at one point was at the stage that you all are in, where, I was thinking about what I wanted to do. And, at one point I figured, hey, I had dreams of going to the NBA or maybe even the NFL. But if you look here at my picture, looks like my nose was still trying to catch up with the rest of my body. So as I got older, I realized, like, hey, some of these guys are a lot bigger, stronger, and faster than I am. So NBA, NFL is probably not going to happen. And I think there's a guy who's about the same age as I am. His name is LeBron James. Yeah, so, but no, what I realized was that, okay, maybe I have talents in other areas. And so, I'll be honest, I did not go to college right out of high school. Hopefully you guys don't follow in my footsteps from that standpoint. But, I started working, thought that I had it all figured out. And, there's certain things that happen in the world that will impact your everyday life, which had happened to me. And so I had to go to school. Luckily, I knew someone, thank goodness, who helped me to earn a job at Columbus State. And so I had worked at Columbus State a total for 11 years, but during that time, I started taking classes there. Of course, I earned my my associate's degree there. Luckily, with me working at Columbus State, all of my tuition and everything like that was free. But for you all, college can be very expensive, and Columbus State has one of, if not the lowest tuition of many community colleges out there. Before I left, I think it was like $152.93 per credit hour. I don't know if that's changed since I've left, but I say that to say, on average, to go to a 4-year school, generally it'll cost you like $11,000 for 1 year. At Columbus State is much cheaper. And so you guys could, so I actually had the opportunity to participate in a program that Columbus State had, and partnered with Franklin. It was a 3-in-1 program where I was actually able to complete 3 years of a bachelor's degree at Columbus State, and then I transferred over to Franklin where I finished my last year. And so, through that, I got, there was even more opportunity, right? I ended up being lucky enough to land a job at Franklin University. Now, by this time I had moved on and earned my master's and everything like that. And, of course, now working on my doctorate. But I say that to you all to say that, there's going to be many opportunities for you all to meet new people that can help you all get in new places and everything like that. And so with the different partnerships that Columbus State has with many of the schools in Ohio, it's really set up for you all to really be able to pretty much do what you all want to do. So, I can say that I'm, definitely living proof of that. I advocate for Franklin University and Columbus State. I love those schools through and through. Someone had mentioned earlier that many people do not, like to leave Columbus State, and that is true, because even though, I was there for 11 years, and yes, I did come to Franklin, I still teach adjunct over at Columbus State. So, I still wanted to be a part of that in some form and fashion. But no, I say that to say that you all can do pretty much whatever you want to do. You just need to start thinking about what it is that you want to do and just go for it. It's out here for you. But no, that's pretty much all I have, guys. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Ardell. Ardell, where did you go to Mifflin? Did you go to Mifflin Middle School?
No, I went to Medina Middle School, and I went to Mifflin High School. Yep.
Very nice. I know that we have some Mifflin Middle School kiddos on right now, so I just didn't know if you had been there. Well, all right. Well, thank you so much. And I want to give you all a round of applause. So if anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to put that down at the bottom. It's the Q&A. And so we have one more wonderful speaker who's going to come in and share with us before we go to our Q&A session where we answer those. So I'm going to turn it over to Thomas Giles from the Ohio State University.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Loesch and Mr. Hambrick, for having the Ohio State University talk with you guys this morning. My name is Thomas Giles. I serve as the Senior Assistant Director of Outreach and Recruitment at the Ohio State University. And basically all that means is that I'm one of the ones that get a chance to go out and visit students in their high school. And with being able to visit in your high school, I serve as the admissions representative for all of Columbus City schools. So the neat thing is that I get to visit all of Columbus City high schools. I get to serve as their face of the university throughout their high school, college navigating process. So I was thankful that Educational Services Center inquired about me coming to talk with you all this morning. So I'm really happy to get a chance to talk with you this morning. I want to share my screen here in just a moment. I believe everyone can see it now. Yes, okay. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I am glad to be able to talk with you to a diverse group of students this morning. And one of the things that before I start talking about Ohio State in general, I want to let you know that when you think about college, I want you to think about the outcome. And that means when you get your degree, or what do you want to do with it, right? Maybe you want to become a mechanic. You might not have to go to college for 2, 3, 4 years to do that. Maybe you want to be a high school teacher. Yes, you'll have to go to school to do that. Maybe you want to work in medicine. You're gonna have to be in school for a lot longer than just a few years. So I want to make sure that when you're starting to think about college, think about the outcome of what you want to do. That will then ultimately support your college navigation process. Okay, I am a first generation college student. I am not from Ohio. I've been in Ohio for about 8 years now. And one of the things that kept me on track to pursuing a career was my community, my support network, the loved ones who continue to remind me that just because I get my high school diploma, life doesn't stop there. So you are in a very good place right now by attending this program this morning, just to uncover those possibilities that my colleagues have just spoken about this morning. So a little bit about Ohio State University. You may not know that there are many campuses of The Ohio State University across the state of Ohio. And I look forward to being able to chat with you just a little bit about those campuses. So I represent the Columbus campus. Many of your loved ones and family and friends call Columbus the main campus, if you will. We identify as the Columbus campus, and there are 5 other campuses across the state of Ohio. And they are in Newark, Mansfield, Marion, Lima, and CFAES Worcester. Many of you are looking at those names and you're thinking, I've never even heard of some of these campuses. And so that's actually why I wanted to show you on the screen today that there are campuses of Ohio State across Ohio. Now, not every student who applies to the Columbus campus, they get into Columbus. So one of Ohio State University's goals is to make sure that everyone who graduates from an Ohio high school, they can be an Ohio State Buckeye. So just because you see the football team play on Saturday morning or Saturday afternoons and Saturday evenings, you may not be on the Columbus campus, and you can still certainly be a Buckeye through one of the 5 campuses that you see there. Ohio State is big. There are more than 67,000 students across all 6 campuses within the state of Ohio. That size, we're proud of, and it shouldn't intimidate you, because building your community, it's not about getting to know 67,000 students. Your community could be 10, 15, 20 students. And these are the folks that are going to help you and push you through being a successful college student. These words here that you see, experiential learning. I hope that this is not the first time or the last time that you will see these words as you navigate thinking about college, because many colleges, many of my colleagues on this webinar this morning, we highlight experiential learning in some form or fashion. And what this basically means is when you're in college, you are going to gain experiences for that first professional job that you have after you graduate from college. So, you guys are in middle school. You may or may not have ever looked at a job application. This job application, somewhere at the bottom, it'll say, how many years of experience do you have doing X thing? You pick a thing, it's going to ask you, how many years of experience do you have? In college, we are going to give you that experience to put on your resume before you graduate, so that when you apply for these jobs, your employer will say, oh, you've had 2 years doing research in biology, and I see that you want to work at this veterinary hospital. That's a phenomenal thing to put on your resume that shows that you have the experience to do this work. And these employers, that's what they're looking for. Yes, many employers will say having a college degree, period. Some of the employers are going to pay a little bit more. They're going to say, do you have experience doing X thing? And you'll get paid just a little bit more money having that experience. So I just like talking about it at a very, very high level of what experiential learning looks like. All that being said, again, I think if this is one of the first times that you are starting to think about college, attending this event through Educational Services Center is a wonderful opportunity to get this process started. My colleagues have talked about College Credit Plus, and that is a statewide program that allows you to take college classes, whether it's on a college campus or maybe when you get to high school. Your high school may even offer the teachers in high school, they may teach the college course in your high school classroom. So if you're concerned about transportation, which you wouldn't have to, you could stay in your high school and take College Credit Plus. There are many of the districts will provide transportation from your high school to the college to make sure that you are making it to your classes on time. So I like to say all that to mention to you that we want you right now to start thinking about an outcome, and that college is attainable in whatever you want it to be. I had someone tell me when I was in 9th grade, they said, Thomas, I believe you have the potential to play college baseball. And I looked at them and I said, because I'm from Virginia, and in my hometown of Virginia, there is a Bath and Body Works factory that makes the candles, the soaps, do all of the chemistry behind that. And I was destined to work there, destined to work there. And then someone said to me, Thomas, you have a potential to play college baseball. And I looked at them and I said, nah, my mom wants me to go work at Tritech, is that factory. And they said, no, just continue to work hard in high school and you'll see what happened. Well, in my senior year, I got a scholarship to play baseball at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, where I played. Then I transferred and played at another small school. So my colleagues have talked about your goals. Start thinking about these goals now and rely on your support network along the way to make sure that you accomplish your goals. I want to turn things back over to Ms. Loesch to see if there are any questions. Thank you for letting me talk with you this morning.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Thank you to everyone from Franklin University, Columbus State, and the Ohio State University. So now it's time for the questions. And I know some of us have started looking and typing them. So those of you who are panelists, you should see the Q&A and you have the ability to answer the questions, so you can type them, but we have about 10 minutes to be able to answer them live if you'd like to. So I'm gonna put the first question out there. I think this will be a quick one to answer. Are there sports at Franklin University?
I can answer that. No, unfortunately, we do not have any sports at Franklin.
Thank you for sharing. And I'm going to follow that up. Are there opportunities to do intramural sports, like our clubs or anything on? I know that it's primarily a remote setup.
Yeah, at this time, they don't have any of the intramural sports.
Thank you so much. I saw that Miss Jones Hamilton is answering, but this is a really big question, and I can help, but I'll let you answer that first. How can you attend college when you are in high school? So the phrase, I'm going to turn that over.
Okay, hope you guys can all hear me. So it's actually quite simple. There are a couple of requirements that you must meet. So like you must have a minimum GPA, which would be your grade point average. I don't know what it is, but it's probably like a 2.5 or something like that. Reasonable. And your parents would help you apply for that through your school. Go to whoever is at your school, go to your school counselor or your college counselor that you have at your school and say, I'm interested in the College Credit Plus program at Columbus State, but Franklin also has it and some other schools have it. And then it's about as simple as enrolling, as long as you have a good GPA and you're in good standing with your school. that program generally starts when you're a freshman in high school. It can start when you're a freshman. Some people start their sophomore year, things like that. And it's just a faster, easier way to get through college. It just, I mean, you're doing double time. You're going to high school and you're going to college at the same time. So by the time you graduate from high school, you could have done 1 or 2 years already in college. It fast tracks you. And it also helps you. I shouldn't say that it's good to skip things, but it helps you skip things. So like if you took statistics in high school and you're in that program, you don't have to take it again here. And it's free to parents.
I wanted to add on to that in that it is a separate application. When you apply to College Credit Plus, and you may hear the words dual enrollment. Dual enrollment and College Credit Plus are the same words in the kind of the college world. And also just know that when you take these college courses in high school, you will receive a college transcript when you were in high school. Sometimes students think that if I'm in high school and I take this college class, maybe I get a C minus, that it won't hurt me when I graduate high school. Au contraire, my fun students here, if you get that C minus in high school from in College Credit Plus, that C minus, it stays with you throughout your undergraduate high school or throughout your undergraduate education once you go to college.
And I just wanted to add in for College Credit Plus for Franklin, we also have a separate application, but I would encourage any student, I know that the ESC is having some shared CCP information sessions that are coming up. I believe the first one's in November and there's some in January. So I would check in with your counselor. They're virtual. It might not be a bad idea just to attend that to kind of get some more information about College Credit Plus, because they'll go through the whole PowerPoint. The state has all kinds of, rules and regulations for students to follow and all that kind of stuff. So that might be a great opportunity to just learn a little bit more about College Credit Plus.
Thank you all so much for answering that. That seems to be a hot question. Some questions, as I said, will be answered in the chat box, but there seems to be a lot of questions regarding scholarships. So a couple students have asked what types of scholarships are available, how do you earn them? And I'm going to turn that over. Andy has her hand raised.
Okay, scholarships are awesome. So like I said, we have a one-step process at Columbus State for applying for a scholarship. You put your name in once, it checks the whole database. Our scholarships are set up by individual people like me, people like the people who are in this program right now. And so let's say I decided that, okay, you need this special calculator for math classes. That's the TI-84, and it costs, you'll learn what that is if you don't already have one, and it costs $100. Let's say I said, that's a hardship on students, and I set up a scholarship. I put, $2,000 in or whatever it is, and a student who qualifies, I set the parameters. So I say it's got to be a single mother. It's got to be a young man who, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be any parameters, but if you meet the parameters, then you would be qualified and you would get that scholarship. We have scholarships through the actual college that are funded by Columbus State, but most of our scholarships are actually privately funded, and they're from people who just care. Like I want to see people go to school for STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And so that's it. I make it sound like it's so simple, but actually it just is. You apply, and if you qualify for anything, the college will just give it to you. You don't always, qualify for things. A lot of times it's related to GPA. So it's important to do your homework, be a good student, go to class. Most scholarships do have a minimum GPA. And there you go.
And I just want to follow up with that. For those of you who are thinking about going to Columbus State, Dr. Harrison, who's the president over at Columbus State, he was a first generation college student, and he started a scholarship for first gen college students. Oh, yeah, but no, you all. So what defines a first generation college student, right? That means that your mother or your father or parent or guardian does not have a bachelor's degree. So they can have a 2-year degree / associate's degree. And you all could take advantage of that. And just furthermore, Andy is right. I mean, there's so many different scholarships out there. People can just create a scholarship for just about anything they want. Believe it or not, there was a scholarship out there for people who were left-handed. And it may sound crazy, but we're not exaggerating when we tell you that. So, definitely, I guess I should say, if you seek, you shall find, because there's so many things out there. So definitely, take a look at that. Keep your grades up, because, you get scholarships for that, obviously, and you guys will do well.
Also, one last thing I'd like to add, just one more thing. Let colleges, institutions, or organizations tell you no. Don't decide no for yourself. Apply for everything that is out there. Oftentimes I'll see a student say, oh, there's a scholarship for XYZ, but it requires a 3.0 GPA and I have a 2.96. Will you please? Sometimes they will make exceptions for things. Sometimes you're just close enough that it's okay. So let organizations and people involved in scholarships and things like that, or grant programs, whatever, apply for everything. Do the shotgun approach, apply for everything and let them tell you no, but don't decide for yourself.
It looks like we have time for one more question. I know someone was going to answer about if there's a veterinarian program at, was it Franklin University? Someone had asked, I think, unless that was type 2. And then I think someone also asked if all of you have choir programs, because they are very passionate about the musical arts.
I typed it, but I'll also answer it. Franklin does not have a veterinarian program, and we also do not offer choir.
Columbus State has a veterinary technician program. So not to be the actual physician, a veterinary doctor, but to be like the doctor's assistant. So think like a nurse for animals. And we do have a music program here, but as far as I'm aware, we do not have an actual choir, but we do have a music program here.
At Ohio State, there is, so we have a College of Veterinary Medicine. Now, when I say College of Veterinary Medicine, it's really important to know that in the undergraduate bachelor's degree, which is 4 years, students can't major in veterinary. They'll have to major in biology or chemistry or something like that, and then add on what's called a pre-professional program of pre-veterinary. That basically says you're taking all the practice classes, getting good grades, and then when you graduate with your bachelor's degree, then you can apply for graduate school into our College of Medicine. So there's a couple of steps happening to get to our College of Medicine. And Ohio State does have a School of Music where students can audition, and they can be on our choir, which is a club or a student organization.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. We have a couple other questions, and I'm going to just kind of answer them very quickly. So someone asked, what are some great colleges to go to? There are so many. A cool program that you and your school counselor will be utilizing this year is School Links, where you can explore different colleges, different options, learn more about yourself to figure out what direction you go to. The cool thing is that you're talking about this now as a 6th grader, 7th grader, 8th grader, and you're starting to get the ball rolling and thinking and exploring all the different options that are provided for you. So know that we're going to be continuing these chats. Next week, we are going to be talking with different, so this week was colleges. Next week, we're going to focus on career, and we're going to get to hear from different people in the workforce. These will be recorded. So we're going to put them there. And I think that this was such a hit that I think we're going to have to keep this going and keep these wonderful partnerships, because I want to make sure that each and every single one of you has the opportunity to hear about this. I'm going to stick around just for a little bit to be able to answer some of the remaining questions. I know if those panelists, there are some that are specific to your building or to your university, if you are able to answer some of them, but if not, thank you all so much for being here today. Please give a round of applause to all of our wonderful representatives from Columbus State, Franklin University, and The Ohio State University, and a special shout out to Mr. John Hambrick and Doug Levy for all of the work that they have done to put this together. I think Olivia was asking if how long you have to go to school, and I'm going to see if you're saying veterinarian or if you're saying a veteran, so you go into the military. So it truly depends on what you're going into. If you're going into the veterinarian sciences, as if you want to work with animals, that could be that you are going to school for 4 years focusing on a science, and then you have anywhere from 4 to 6 years of additional training of going to veterinarian school. If you want to be a veteran, meaning that you were in the military services, that really depends on what area that you go into. If you enlist, if you join like a program at the university, and we'll be able to dive more into that. Thank you, Indy and Ola. Franklin University, I think Ardell is typing. If you have an editing program, STEM is very, very, very popular for our kiddos. Our wonderful presenters, I cannot thank you enough. I was letting John know and Doug via text message that we had many people texting saying how impressed they were with the speakers today and how engaging you were. So I thank you so much. I think exposure is key for our students. And so I am so appreciative. Hopefully when we are out of the era of COVID, we would love to be able to do some of these things in person, but it's also kind of cool that we can be able to expose this to the entire district. So I want to thank you so much again.
Thank you, everybody. Great job.
Thanks. John, are we good to wrap up? Awesome. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Stay warm out there.
Thank you.